Hello everyone, how are we? I I keep meaning to do something like this and I keep forgetting. I don't keep forgetting, I'm just being very lazy. I'm creating excuses for myself now. How are we? Did you all have a lovely Christmas and New Year? I hope you did, although that does seem a very long time ago. It's like almost the middle of January. What's going on? And before you say anything, yes, it is 11:45. I haven't just got up. I got up and did a load of work and then had a shower. It's a very odd day here. Not really sure what's going on. But I thought I would sit down and just have a chat and let you know what I got up to, what I'm getting up to, what's going on, and some plans for this year. I'm not sure about this top. That's my issue at the moment. Um, so Christmas and New Year was very, very hectic. I have two. The boyfriend's family is a little bit demanding, so we were trying to sort of make sure everyone we were where we needed to be to keep everyone happy. And then just before Christmas, my dad actually was really ill to the point of they actually took him into hospital. They thought he had a stroke. He didn't. He just has a virus in his ear, which makes him very, very dizzy, which is quite funny to watch sometimes. But he's doing a lot better now. Annoyingly, he went into hospital the day before he was going to go Christmas shopping for my mum's presents, which means Muggins here had to take him shopping on the Friday just before Christmas, which was great fun because he didn't really understand what he was doing. But it's fine. We got there. Mum was happy. We had a really good Christmas. We saw Phil's family in the morning, Christmas Day. Saw the kids open their presents. Had our own little Christmas lunch, which was really lovely. And then we came up here to see my parents, and my godparents were here as well for the afternoon / evening. And then what did we do? Boxing Day. Boxing Day we went for a really lovely walk. And then my sister and brother-in-law came over. We had a bit of a second Christmas family meal. And that was really lovely. So it was really good to see everyone, good to catch up with everyone, as you do typically over Christmas. And then New Year happened where what did we do? We didn't do anything, which was really lovely. I am not a big fan of New Year. I struggle with it. It's just another day. So me and Phil stayed at home, played PlayStation, ate crab food, and just had a really lovely evening, just the two of us. Yeah, so actually that was really nice. I think that was really it, because then everything went straight back to work. Last week I was back at work, but not back at work because people didn't realise I was doing anything. So I took the time to get myself a little bit organised for the year, start researching, and was really productive actually. I now work out that I can do about one person every half hour if they're easy to find, or about an hour, which means I can get about 7 done in a day, which is really good. Slightly struggling because half of my Roll of Honour is over with Kimberly and Lloyd, and I'm struggling to get it back off them, which is a little bit frustrating. We'll get there, we always do. Before Christmas, I landed up going to the B&Q Christmas party. Nobody really knew I was going except for Becky because she organised it for me. And when I walked in, everyone was like, "What are you doing here?" But it was really good to see everyone. Everyone was so lovely. And I'm in talks to go back to work. No, actually, I'm quite excited because I'm not bringing in the money in the minute, but I'm really enjoying what I'm doing and sort of doing a bit of work experience in my field. So if I go back to B&Q, it's a job that I know, I love, the people there I know and love. I'm going to look at going back for 3 days. I'm just in conversations with that at the minute, which means I still get some time to do my work as well. Phil's really sort of open with it, and he understands that it does mean that there'll be some evenings that I have to work, or potentially some work at the weekends. But it's just about that compromise, and it'll only be really for this year that we'll see that, and then I'll do a reevaluation at the end of the year really to see where I've got to, who knows who I am, get my books written and everything like that. So it's a bittersweet sort of thing. I'm excited to go back because I'm struggling a little bit for just being by myself in this little office, but at the same time, I really genuinely hoped I wouldn't have to go back. But you know what? All things happen for a reason. I firmly believe that. And we'll get there. We will get there. Whatever there may be, or wherever there may be, I should say. There are some very strange noises in this house today. Earlier it sounded like we had a bird in the roof, but I'm not quite sure what's going on. So with regards to work, what am I doing? Well, I am no longer working with Wenches and Trenches in the same format. There were some decisions made just before Christmas that I don't actually necessarily agree with. Um, so I've just stepped back a little bit. I'm here when they need me, but yeah, not in the same sort of capacity as I was doing before. With regards to other work, I'm still working on John Henry Phillips's work, which is what I'm going to do a little bit of in a minute. I'm also still working on the Romsey plans. So this year, oh my god, it's less than a year. That's slightly scary. We've got some really big plans, but we need some funding, and we need some funding very fast. So we're just going to start exploring that. We've got some really big plans, as I say, and they're really exciting plans. There's a lot of work for me to do, exhibition wise. Like, we want to move it on from the story we told like last year, and move it on to the story of everyone coming home. So I've got to get my head sort of in the zone. And I think, you know, by going back to work, doing those 3 days, the 2 days that I am here, I know I've got to get up, and I know I've got to sit here, and I know I've got to work my ass off, because otherwise it's not going to get done. And unfortunately at the moment I know I can sort of lay in bed till 9:30 and just do whatever I feel like. It's not going to work like that for much longer. In fact, it shouldn't work like that right now. So my headspace is very changing at the moment. And I've been invited to join in the Romsey Festival Committee. I think I've told you about it already. So the Romsey Festival runs every 3 years, and it's a big celebration of everything that we do in Romsey. So lots of art projects, the sort of different concerts and shows and evening entertainments. It's an absolutely lovely 2 weeks. And I got asked to get on board as a fundraising officer, so that's a really nice different string for me. They're going to train me up, they're going to teach me a few things, which is really good, because I'll be able then to put that on my CV, and it's a different like line of work that I could go for at the end of this year, really. Today I've done a little bit of work for that. We have our first meeting this evening, so I've got to put forward all of my ideas for fundraising. So far we've got the Arts Council, some crowdfunding, some business sponsorships, and some variety of things like that, but it's all fun and games, and I'm really enjoying it, actually. I don't think I really know what my strong point is at the moment. I don't really know what triumphs me above everyone else, but I'm enjoying exploring what I'm able to do. I feel like I'm talking very, very fast, so I apologise for that. With regards to the rest of the year, I do not know. It's all a little bit up in the air. I don't really know how I feel about a few things, where I stand on a few things. I feel a little bit disappointed and let down by a few people. And so my headspace is it goes from up and down. And I know I need to really focus on myself and getting myself fit and healthy. Obviously, we've got Mexico in 3.5 months, I think. Could be lying. Let's have a look. So yeah, me and Phil are going to start 3 months, 16 days. It's not bad, that. 3.5 months. Me and Phil are going to start sort of swimming and going out for walks and just exercising a little bit more, because I'm really conscious of the things we want to do in Mexico. Not necessarily even the way I look, although that does have a benefit as well. But the things we want to do when we're out in Mexico are like go swimming with the turtles. And I'm not the world's most confident swimmer. So we're going to get out, and then my mum is lovely. I love her to bits for this one. And she's bought us some scuba diving lessons, which I can, or I think it's just one scuba diving session. So we can go to that just before we go on holiday, and I'll have a little bit of experience of the diving that we're going to do, which I think is a really excellent idea. It takes all of that scariness away from doing something new when you're on holiday, but it will still be new, because we'll be diving in a pool here, and with no turtles about. So I'm really, really excited for Mexico. It will be Phil's 30th birthday as well, so we're going to try and make it a little bit special. I'm going to speak to the hotel, see whether they can do some nice, lovely stuff for his birthday. He's told me I'm not to get him any presents, and I'm like, it's your 30th birthday, you cannot not have presents. So I need to speak to his family and arrange sort of a meal before we go out. And what to get him. I don't really know. I keep teasing him that I'm going to get a drone. He bought himself a GoPro in the January sales for Mexico, so when we go out we've got a nice little camera to take with us. I keep teasing I'm going to buy my drone to go with that, but I want the drone really for when we go to France and I can take some really nice photos of cemeteries from above. So I think that's not going to necessarily work. But who knows? Yeah, I think that's really it for today. I hope everyone's well. I know it's been 10 minutes of me just going blah, which I'm very good at. I think at some point I may sit down and do like one of my old fashioned videos, which is just a 20-minute download of my headspace, where I'm at with some people, and the whole letting down thing, because I feel like I'm letting myself down as well. But more importantly, I feel like I'm letting these men down that I've been researching for sort of 2-3 years now. We were at a meeting last night, and it became about who can triumph each other with this whole project that I'm doing, event wise, and I'm just like, it's not about that, it's remembering the right thing. And I feel very let down by that, and I feel like I've let their memory down a little bit. So I feel a little bit frustrated on that front. But what can you do? You have these people, and sadly, I am related to one of them, and we don't get on, we don't speak. She decided it was appropriate to have an argument with us in the middle of a meeting. So, you know what? If that's your mentality, it's a very selfish, it's a very horrible mentality. And we were at a meeting for an organisation, and all I heard come out of her mouth was, it's not my idea, I don't want to do that. Well, I'm sorry, it's not about you, it's about this organisation. So feeling a little bit frustrated on things like that at the moment, but I know I need to stop taking them so personally again, and just start sort of accepting it and brushing it off, learning to just brush it off. So I think we're going to try a few new things out this year. I want to get back to doing these videos either every other day or once a week, just to update you, especially when like things start really kicking off. And when I've got some big news, there obviously will be an update. I'm working hard on social media at the moment, so please go follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I do have a Facebook page for the company. I don't have one. I'm keeping Facebook personal for myself, because it just got a little bit sticky with Witches and Trenches contacting me at God knows what time of the night, and it just wasn't acceptable. So we've stopped that. So Twitter, Instagram, you can find me on there. You can find me obviously on YouTube, where this will be going. And let's start afresh, I think. And it's about positivity. It's about owning your goals and owning your life, I think, as well. There's no more of these excuses, or I can't do this because, or I don't want to do this because. Just go do it. And I am the worst person for that, so I'm saying it here. You can hold me to it. Let's see where we get to, and fingers crossed it's a good year this year. We need a good year. It should be. There's lots of things in the pipeline, which hopefully will come off, and I'm excited to see where I go next. I am going to leave it there because we're almost at 15 minutes, which is really bad. I'm so sorry. But you know what? I find it really therapeutic just to download and just go blah. So if you find these helpful, then brilliant. Like it and let me know. If there's anything you actually want to know regarding how I research, what I do, and the process that I go through, then also let me know, because I'm really up for sort of just training like the next set of people coming through. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you're all well, and I will speak to you either at some point this week or next week when I'll do next update for you. Mwah!